Hi, in this video we're going to look at the final stage of exercises you need to recover fully from a quad muscle tear and return to your sport. In this video we're going to go through the 4 exercises you need to be doing and the running that you need to also complete to give you full confidence that you have fully recovered and you know you can return to training or return to competition. Hi, my name is Tommy Brennan. I'm the owner of the Pain and Performance Clinic based in Dublin. So myself and Aaron are going to go through and talk through the exercise that you would need for this stage. We've already done phase 1 and phase 2 rehab. If you're unsure about where to start, go back and look at those videos. But if you've completed those and had a look at those exercises and they're too easy, these will be the ones that you would move on to. There's loads of options that you can use. We've included exercises that make the muscle work sufficiently in a shortened and a lengthened position. We have a lot of tension and work into the muscle itself, and we also have you moving explosively, because most people who are watching this video want to get back to some sort of sport, so it can't all be just training slow and heavy. We have to get you moving and moving fast. Let's start with the first exercise, which is the Bulgarian split squat. So if we're looking at this here, Aaron is working the front leg, so there's very little pressure gone through the back leg. He's going to go down and hold both dumbbells at knee height, and in that position he should feel just a lot of work here and a little bit on the hip. There's very little pressure through this leg. So if you hold that for about 10 seconds and then start going up and down. So you're pushing through your foot. So pushing down through your foot into the ground, getting your hip down and all the way up. You should feel a lot of work and effort on that leg. Do you get that there? Yeah. So again, the weights don't need to be too heavy, maybe 7.5 or 10 kg, depending on your own weight and conditioning. Hold for 10 seconds, followed by 8 to 12 reps. And again, not a bad idea to do it on both sides at this stage. So there's the first exercise. The second exercise that we're going to move on to really isolates the quad muscle. So we're going to use a band for this. So if Aaron, do you want to pop down there? Yep. Good. So again, obviously this is the leg that Aaron is working. So you're going to start off by making sure you have enough tension here. Now, if this is your start position, this has your quad muscle in a lengthened state. Have sufficient tension on that, and then whenever Aaron is going to push his foot against it, bringing his foot just past parallel. So you should have enough tension on the band that you can only get past parallel. If you're able to just push your foot down to the ground, you don't have enough tension on it. Hold it there for 5 seconds, slowly let it back in. And then from the bottom again, off you go. Good. And you're not just passively waiting there. You have a little bit of outward intent into the band all the time. Have sufficient tension and make sure that you get the muscle in front of the leg working really, really hard. As you progress and move forward with this, you're able to change the pace. So Aaron, what we might do after another one here now is to go fast for 6 or 8 of them. So again, this changes the demand on the muscle. Keeping your hip down, feel work in the front of the quad there? Yeah, definitely. So that really isolates that muscle. And again, stop when you feel you're at a 7 or 8 intensity or effort level. It's difficult to give you exact reps because it depends on the strength of your band. Let's move on to our third exercise now at this stage, which is the lunge complex. So if we look at Aaron here, most people trying to get back from a quad tear, they're trying to get back to some sort of sport. Not everything is done in a straight line, and it needs to be snappy and athletic, not always just slow and heavy. So that's what we're trying to do in this exercise. Keep an eye on it, because what's clear, should be clear, is that the front foot, all the intent is done through the front foot. Let's get started. So Aaron is going into a forward lunge and straight into a side lunge, and you can see he's clearly pushing back with his right foot in this case. Both dumbbells come down beside the knee. It's 7.5 kg that he has in his hands there, and you can clearly feel the front leg doing everything. Yeah. Good. Good, and take a break. So again, like I said, most people are trying to get back to sports that involve you twisting and turning. We can't just do all of our rehab going in a straight line, and you can't train slow and expect to perform fast. That brings us on to our last exercise, which is a plyometric exercise. Very little ground contact time with the foot, but Aaron is going to do a triple jump here, single leg triple jump with power and pace. Very little contact time on the ground. Good. And walk back and go again. So you might do 3 or 4 of these in your set. It's as explosive as possible. Imagine that the ground is hot and you're really trying to get off it. So there are 4 exercises. Thanks for that, Aaron. If we just look over here, I've included a running program that you need to also be able to perform. So the question you might ask is, how do I know if I fully recover and I'm able to go back into team sport or back into competition? This exercise here, this running session. So I've laid out 50 meters here. So what I want you to do is sprint 10 meters, okay? And then you're going to walk 40 meters to the end. As soon as you get to the end here, you'll be obviously fully recovered. You're going to sprint 20 meters and then walk 30 meters. At that stage, when you hit the line, you're going to sprint 30 meters, walk 20 meters, then sprint 40 meters, walk 10, and then you sprint 50 meters. And that would be one set. To make that more difficult and more relevant for your sport and for a quad injury, what I want you to also do is, when I say sprint 10 meters, as soon as you get through that 10 meter line, ideally I want you to be able to decelerate within like 2 meters. So you're not just drifting all the way through. Get straight through the line and decelerate quickly. That's the type of action that you're going to have to be able to do in your sport. So if we do that, all of that is one set. Rest for 1, 2, 3 minutes, whatever you need or whatever your own conditioning dictates. And if you get 5 sets of that done, it means you've sprinted, accelerated, decelerated. You've done your rehab in the gym. You shouldn't feel any difference really between either side. When you get to the stage where you can do all of that and you wake up the next day and there's no difference in what you feel in your quad muscles, then you know, I'm able to get back into my team sport. You have the confidence to do it because you've already done it. Once you're back, I would still recommend you continue with some of the rehab that you've done here in this last stage. When you return from injury, like the biggest predictor of injury is previous injury. So even when you return, you're still more likely to pick up an injury in that area than any other area for the following number of weeks or even months. So a good way of preventing that is maybe once in your week, take those 4 exercises and do 2 to 3 rounds of it, maybe early in your week away from your match or whenever you have to really perform. But I wouldn't recommend completing this and then just stopping all your quad rehab. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions on that, feel free to comment below or reach out and we'll be glad to help.